TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Yeah, so we kept the belts for a little while, and then almost like I wanted to get them off. I wanted to get this big push we were talking about before it fades. You know?
Right.
And I was getting a lot. I was over pretty strong. The glasses and that look with the jackets and all that stuff with Neidhart. And me and Jim have been together 6 years at that point. You know, we'd kind of done our thing. I never thought that we would never team up again. I never saw what. I couldn't foresee at that time what was really down the road for me. But I did want to try singles and see what I could do and see, I saw everybody else making money, like Hennig and different guys. I thought, I can do this. I can do this. Have that same spot. So we had to drop the belts to the Nasty Boys, which was fine. I was, happy about it. They were a little stiff, Brian and Jerry. But the match we had at WrestleMania was one of the best matches, one of the best tag matches we ever had on film. Like, what a great match! The timing and Jimmy Hart, and the way it was done was very credible. Poor what's that? Macaulay Culkin.
Oh yeah, Macaulay Culkin. Yeah.
He's in the audience, and I could tell. I know that he was upset when we lost the match, which is so funny, because he was just a little kid then. But, and I remember the very next night, because I was smart enough to know what was going on. Bulldog had just come back in. I had nothing to do with him, but I knew the business by that time, and immediately they came up and said, "We're going to stick you with Hennig."
Right, it was 91 around this time.
And I said, so what are we going to, you've been promising me the big push, so what are we doing? He just got the belt. So what's the finish going to be? They go, we'll figure. I said, no. I said, wait a minute. I said, I'm not. You guys have asked me to be patient, and I've waited. Now you're going to put me with Curt, and I'm not going to win. I said, I don't even want to do it. And I stood my ground, and I really was pretty firm about it in a nice way. They said, I don't want to do it. And finally they said, okay. And I remember Vince was like, matter of fact, like, all right, throw Bulldog in. So Bulldog worked with Curt instead almost all summer long. And just like I thought, after that one kind of wore itself out and Curt had the belt long enough, I think he started to get hurt.
Right, his back.
But before he got hurt, I was winning the belt from him. And then he hurt his back. And it was almost the same kind of thing. I didn't know for sure if he'd make it. And then same thing, he showed a lot of respect and that old intestinal fortitude kind of thing. But he did. He showed up and was in a lot of pain. Curt was in a lot of pain. And he showed up and put me over just out of respect for me, which I've always been really grateful for. The match itself wasn't as good a match as some of the ones we had in house shows.
You're speaking of SummerSlam.
Yeah. But it was a great match, especially when you look at how Curt had been off for such a long time and what a great job he really did and how hard he really worked. It stands out as one of my favorite matches of all time, especially in light of the fact that Curt was hurt as bad as he was.
What are some of your memories of your matches with Jacques Rougeau? I guess Jacques being him.
You know what? I was probably critical of Jacques sometimes, for being, just some things, But the truth was he was easy to work with. He was more like honky tonk,
right?
You weren't getting that solid kind of match. And in a lot of ways, he kind of got kind of a little lazy. But at the same time, he had a lot of heat. People hated him. And he was a night off, every night, And I don't remember ever not getting a reaction. We always had they always wanted to kill him kind of thing. And I had a lot of heat. And everybody zapped me with it.
Right.
All that was, in light of how the business is now, I've always reflected fondly on that time with Jock. Maybe not so much in those days. I always liked Jock, but I don't know if I really loved working with him. But it's funny, I remember doing a 6-man with me and the Bushwhackers against Jock and the Nasty Boys, we tore the house down with that silly match. Me doing the Bushwhacker thing. I remember it was so funny to people to see in a different, take a little bit of your edge off, But I liked that time.